What's going on, everybody? I'm Selna Kim, America's face of dating, and today we have an absolute banger for you guys. I came up with this, honestly, very quickly. These ideas just come to me very fast, it seems like sometimes, like out of nowhere. And this one is just going to be an absolute banger, and this is 8 shit tests girls do that you never knew existed. And disclaimer, absolute disclaimer on this, is that this isn't red pill geek advice, like when she asks you to buy her something, or shows up late, you know, to get all mad and check her on that. Get all mad, I should say mad right there. Get all mad and check her on that, right? They'll give you lame like tests like that. I'm talking about this is S rank, what I've personally seen in the field that most guys never have even gotten because they have never made it this far, right? They just take my stuff and usually copy it or something like that. But something I thought of is like tests are like the flu. They are almost going to adapt to you. Like, if you guys know anything about the flu, the reason that there's a new vaccine for the flu every single fucking year is because the flu will adapt or mutate, I guess, based on the previous year's flu virus. I'm not a scientist, okay? So this is definitely rough science right here, but basically the flu virus will mutate, and that's why it's so, like, I guess, effective, is because once you make a vaccine for one of the flu viruses, it mutates slightly so that vaccine doesn't work for it anymore. You guys see what I mean on that? And so tests, like, women will test you based on who you are as a man. And like the more masculine and the higher status you are, the tests are almost going to like adapt to you, and they're going to be things that you've never really seen before that you have to prepare for. And so these tests, they've adapted to me, and that's why I've received these tests versus probably the tests that you have received. But most likely some of these tests, especially the last few, are really going to be effective, that most guys always typically get. And so make sure you guys watch until the very end, because these tests are crazy. They're ridiculous. You're not going to believe some of this stuff. But that's another win for my program, Wild William, this week. Like, once we taught him how to pass tests, he absolutely started crushing, as you can see. Like, if you guys ever have a problem with getting friend zoned, like Wild William here, like, once you change that and you know how to pass her tests, you are no longer going to get friend zoned, because that's just a simple part of natural attraction, is learning how to pass a girl's tests. And so let's jump right into it. So we have number 1 right here. We have the horny bait test. This one's funny because hot girls will try to bait you early to see if you were just another horny guy, right? I was talking to a girl in some point in college, man, and she was a smoke show. She was pretty fucking hot. And she was used to guys, she showed me her DMs on Instagram one day, and she was used to guys flooding her DMs, complimenting her ass, complimenting her body, right? Telling her she's so beautiful. What are they trying to get? They're just trying to fuck her, right? So she's used to guys just trying to literally get in her pants. And so as we started talking more, this was the point where we first met, but we had not been on a date yet, right? And so this was in the point where I've passed her, like, her initial stage of testing, to where she starts to, I guess, indoctrinate me to the next point of her testing. And so we were talking about, like, getting on a date, right? Like, actually going on a date, getting together in person, making something happen. And I was telling her how, like, you know, I would go to this library sometimes, because on the top floor there's like this really beautiful view of the city. And she randomly comes in and she goes, "Oh yeah, all the dirty stuff happens in libraries too." I was just talking about, like, going on a date, and she goes, "All the dirty stuff happens in libraries too." Most guys would bait on that. They would get baited and be like, "Oh, like, so you're thinking about doing something dirty with me?" And they start talking, start trying to talk to dirty over text to the girl, right? And then she's like, and then she catches your ass. She's like, "Oh, you're just one of those fucking horny guys. Like, I'm good." And then she slowly pulls away. Chances are you guys have gotten that before. The way that I handle it is I'm just like, "Oh, that's where our date's gonna be now. It's gonna be at the library," right? I never even, don't even, like, just assume if she throws you the horny bait test, right? Never talk dirty to a girl until after you slept with her and after the first or second date. Save it for then, right? Not to the point where you're about to go on the first date with her. Leave it, right? If she tries, it's literally just a horny bait test, and you just got to be like, "Oh, so we're going on a date now, really?" Like, you literally just brush over it like she didn't even say it, and she's gonna be like, "Oh wow, he didn't fall for it. Interesting." Number 2 we have the womanizer test. So this comes out when you're extremely good at flirting, right? Like, your game is just on fucking point, and you have that smirk on your face, and she's just like, "I know this guy gets a lot of fucking ass, man." Most guys never get this test because their game is just, it's literally trash. It's fucking trash. You've seen a lot of guys try to flirt with a girl and you're like, that is absolutely terrible, bro. We got to work on that. If you guys literally are watching my channel and you struggle with flirting and you want to get like Wild William up there that I just showed you and like book in a call using the link in the description below. Let's get you my program and let's fix that really fast. We'll change that really fast, man, and have girls chasing you in no fucking time, man. But book in a call with me in the link in the description below. Bring your credit card. I'm not going to waste your time. Don't waste my time. Let's get you going in the program, man. So what this looks like is like, if you're really, really good at flirting, she's most likely going to be like, oh, like you talk to every single girl, right? Like you've been with every single girl, blah, 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 right? You talk to every girl, you flirt with every girl. And the way that you need to come back to that is this. I'll give you guys a little bonus, right? No, I don't talk to every girl. They talk to me. And she's gonna be like, you are so annoying. Right? If you just fall into her frame and you're just like, no, I'm not a player, I'm not a womanizer, like, I've only slept with one girl before. She's like, why is he trying to validate himself to me? Like, why is he trying to sell himself on him, like, to me? Right? Sell himself to me is what I meant to say there. Jeez. You guys are making me nervous today, man. I can't even fucking talk today. God. But that's how you pass it right there. You're just like, I don't talk to every girl. They talk to me, babe. She's gonna be like, oh my god, you're so annoying, right? She likes that you're a player. She likes that you're a womanizer, okay? But she just wants to feel a little bit more special than all the other girls that you're talking to. Shh, you didn't hear it from me. Actually, you did, because that's actually fired fucking advice, okay? But anyways, number 3, the ex-boyfriend test. The same girl that gave me the womanizer test. We were in about 6 weeks of talking, right? Been on multiple dates. We're getting, I guess you could say, serious. So, we are at a party one day, and she's talking to her friend, and one of these songs come on. It's called Planes. I believe it's Planes by Jeremiah. If you guys don't know that song, if I played it for you, you'd be like, yeah, like, I know this song. It was literally the anthem of, like, 2017, 2018, I believe. It was, like, the anthem of the year. Like, the party song of the year. And we are at this party, and that song comes on, and I overhear her talking to her friend, and she goes, this song just, it makes me miss my ex so much. She said her ex's name, right? Let's just say his name was like, I don't know, Aiden, let's say, right? She's like, this song makes me miss Aiden so much, right in front of me. And I was just like, dude, we were literally talking, and she literally just said she misses her ex-boyfriend, right? How do you guys handle that? That's a test right there. And so she knew that I was like, after I heard that, she was like, yeah, that was a fucking mistake. I should not have said that. And the way that I handled it was just like, I didn't really speak to her that night, because I was like, how am I going to handle this, right? I was like, what am I going to do about this? Am I just going to act like it didn't happen? But it really fucking pissed me off, right? Because I'm like, we're literally 6 weeks into talking, and you're talking about how you miss your ex-boyfriend. That shows like some major mixed signals right there. And I just, at the end of the night, she's like, you're mad about that comment, aren't you? And I was just like, listen, like, it definitely wasn't the smartest comment to make. But, you know, what does that tell me? Like, you know, I'm really doing a lot for you here, and, you know, I really do care about you, but you're telling me that, you know, telling your friends that you miss your ex-boyfriend, that doesn't make me really feel that good. And honestly, like, it tells me that you're not really fully into this, and you might still have mixed feelings, and you still might miss your ex, and you just gotta tell me right now. Like, if you still miss your ex, go be with him, right? Like, yeah, it'll piss me off that, like, we waited 6 weeks to talk about this, but I'd rather wait 6 weeks to talk about this than breaking up a whole relationship if that's what we're potentially going to have because you miss your ex, right? I just laid down the fucking law. I was like, never talk about that fucking idiot again. I don't want to hear about it, right? If you miss him, go be with him. If not, shut the fuck up about it. I don't want to fucking hear it, okay? I don't care about your exes. I could not care fucking less. So if you're going to talk about and blab your mouth about how you miss them, I ain't the man for you, honey. She shaped up real fucking fast, as they fucking should. So, that's how you handle that. Number 4 is the compliance test. And not just like the buy me a drink and all that shit, but I'll give you an example. So, back when I was in college, I was running track. And we had like a really good dude on our team. Like, he was fast as fuck, dude. And everyone respected him, right? And I respected him too. He was fast, dude. He was a cool guy. But one day, like, we're out on the track, and he like turns to me in front of my friend Kyle. And he's just like, hey man, like, you know, like, would you be able to go back into the dome and go get these batons for me? It was like a fucking quarter-mile walk. And I just turned back to him, I go, no, I don't feel like it, man. And yeah, it got awkward as fuck, right? Because he literally asked you for a favor. He's like, hey man, can you get this for me? And I was like, no, I don't feel like it. Yeah, it was awkward as fuck, right? But I was like, I'm not gonna be your little bitch and go be your slave boy and go walk back a quarter mile and then walk back another quarter mile just to give you these batons. You forgot them. Go get them yourself, right? But I didn't say that, but I was just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I am definitely not gonna do that. And he was like, well, why not, man? Like, I really got to warm up and blah, blah. I was like, well, do your warm up back to the dome. I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm not walking back there. You're fucking out of your fucking mind if you think I'm going to do that. It's ridiculous, right? That's the compliance test right there. And yes, some girls will ask you for a drink and, you know, be like, oh, will you buy me a drink? And see if you're compliant. If you don't feel like doing it, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to, right? We're in America, or wherever you guys are at. Some of you guys are all over the world that I coach. But I'm in America, so I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. You know what I mean? So at least, you know, nowadays it seems like there's a monarchy forming, but what are you going to do, right? So that's how you handle the compliance test right there. Another one, complete disrespect, right? Complete disrespect. Let's say that something happens, a girl is just completely disrespectful to you. Can't really think of an example, but let's just say like she's just being like downright just rude as fuck to you. Call that shit out instantly, right? Just be like, hey, I'm not going to tolerate being talked to like that. If you're going to talk to me like that, you know, I'm just not going to be around you. So what's going to be the move here? Stand up for yourself, right? If you're being disrespected, a girl's being literally rude to you beyond the point of testing, right? There's a difference between testing and just flat out just disrespect and rudeness, right? If she's just being completely rude to you, just be like, hey, I'm not going to tolerate that. I don't like the way you're speaking to me right now. And if you have a problem, tell me face to face. What is it? You know, and just sit there and stare and let them explain themselves on why they're being a bitch or an asshole. Stand up for yourself, guys. We need more men to stand up for themselves in this world. Number 7, the competency test. I bet you can't jump off that cliff into the water. So like you're cliff diving and the girl's like, I bet you can't do this, or I bet you won't do X. Right? It's a test to see if you're like, oh yeah, like I can do that too. No, remember, the golden rule, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Right? Especially if she's hot. You don't have to do it. So flip it back on her, right? If she's like, I bet you can't do X, you're just like, I bet you won't kiss me right now. Flip it back on her. Because she just baited herself, right? She just messed up by saying, I bet you won't do X. She's basically indirectly saying there, I would do it. Right? I would do it. I'm tough enough to do it. I don't think you are. So flip it back on her and be like, I bet you won't kiss me right now. And if she does kiss you, then I guess you gotta jump off the cliff, right? I guess you're like, okay, well I guess we're jumping off the cliff and kissing. But call her out on that. Make her do something first instead of you just being an errand boy and just doing it yourself. Not productive, right? Like it's not gonna build her attraction, but if you're like, I bet you won't kiss me right now. And she's like, shit, now I got to because of my own rules that she literally just made. Always use the rules against her. The time vampires, right? The time vampire test, this one's one of my favorites because so many guys in my DMs do this all the time. Just people that are just, you know, wasting time and just, you know, girls are wasting your time on the DMs and dating apps and all that shit. I'll explain it. Is like, people are just like, can you just do this really quickly? Oh, this will only take but a second. Oh, like it's really easy. Can you just help me with it? You know what I mean? I get questions all the time. Like, I don't get why you guys do this. I don't get why you guys come into my DMs and you're just like, hey man, really quickly, can you give me advice on this? Hey man, I have a really quick question. Hey man, I'm in a really, really interesting situation. They're trying to like manipulate me to respond like, oh, it's really quickly? Oh yeah, let me drop everything I'm doing to come help you. No, I'm not going to do it. If I don't feel like helping you, I'm not going to. Right? We get so many guys in my DMs nowadays, I can't even get back to everybody. That's a great fucking problem to have. But still, like, I'll still get guys in my DMs or whatever just being like, really quickly, bro, can you spend an hour responding to these texts? I don't have an hour to just go through my DMs and drop everything to help some random dude online. No, I don't. So if you don't feel like doing it, you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? So it's funny when people are just like, really quickly, or just really a simple, or I have a really, really interesting situation you've never heard before. I've heard every situation, okay? There's not a situation you guys can hit me with where you're just like, I've heard every situation, like, you've never heard this situation before. And when I do respond to it, right, if by chance I do, they're just like, oh, like, I really want this girl back, but she just, like, you know, is ghosting me. I'm just like, that is your interesting situation? I've heard this, I get this like 10,000 times a day. Like, what? Like, it's hilarious, but like time vampires, right? Girls or guys that are just gonna waste your time. Don't mess with it. You don't have to. And finally, number 8, frame control, right? I love my dad's example of this when he likes to drive fast, right? He's an Indy 500 winner, so he drives fast. He drives a little crazy sometimes. He has his fun. But his girl kind of freaks out sometimes, when he's driving. I remember one day, like, we're driving back, and he was going just like on a simple, just like turn on the highway, right? Just like a curve on the highway. And she just like starts freaking out, like, kind of like how she always does when he drives. And he turns to her and he's like, look, like, I need you to calm down and trust me when I'm going too fast. I have never crashed the car before. I won't crash the car. You need to calm down and you gotta trust me. You freaking out every 2 seconds is giving me minor heart attacks over here. Because I feel like someone's just like about to just crash into us for no reason when nothing is happening. I need you to calm down and you need you to trust me. And I can't have you freaking out anymore about my driving. And he literally just said that just how it is. Right? He's just like, you gotta trust me. I'm your man. You need to calm down and trust me. If something happens, I'll fucking deal with it. That's masculine energy right there. It's beautiful. That's how it needs to be done right there. And like, if you guys like, that's the end of the test right there. Like, if you guys need help, like if you guys want to join my program, this is what it looks like right here. This is just the winch channel. That's Wild William. That's actually another example of the horny bait test, right? Dead on the floor at work, tits out, tongue out. He's like, that tongue looks dangerous. He went to Florida and saw her. It worked. Like, we teach you guys really how to come back to these tests, and it's just Win City over here, right? Win City over here. Getting dates, like Wild William back on that date. I showed you guys that picture earlier. Like, if you guys need help with dating and like and actually building attraction and being able to pass tests and being able to be masculine versus feminine, have that natural attraction, book in that call using the link below in the description. Hop on a call with me. Bring your credit card. I'm not going to waste your time like I told you guys earlier. So please don't waste my time. Like, I really want guys that are serious about this, that are bold. I love the guys that come to my Instagram and they're just bold as fuck, and they're just like, dude, I know you're the man for the job. What's the price? Here's my credit card. Let's get started. Those are my favorite type of guys. They always get the best. That's what Eric did right here. He literally was just like, dude, here you go. Here's my credit card, man. Can we split it in half? Like, half now, half in 30 days? I was like, sure, dude. I know you're going to crush it. Literally just started crushing it with him, dude. So, as you guys can see, like, he's more confident than ever. And so if you guys struggle with dating and you guys really want to master this stuff and learn this stuff, hop on that call with me or DM me on Instagram and say you're directly from YouTube. Because I get so many guys every single day that message me. I'll prioritize you guys better if you tell me you're from YouTube directly. And so time's not going to fix this stuff. You guys have to take action on this stuff. Time is right now. You guys got to do this. And so if you guys are ready for that, book in that call or message me on Instagram. Let's get you guys going in the program and get you guys fucking crushing it, man. Time is too short to be messing around with low quality women, man. I want you guys with a quality girlfriend. That's what I want for you guys. And so, on that note, I'm Selna Kim, America's face of dating. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to hear more about, and I'll see you guys in the next video.